A brand new DEI hustling coalition has been exposed, and well, it's about as nefarious as you think that it is. Sweet Baby Inc., once again involved in a shadowy cabal people, allegedly linked to secret indie game funding network. Interesting. You wonder why there's so much indie slop that's out there right now, and why you think who in the blue hell thought this is a good idea? It doesn't matter who thought it was a good idea because they get funding for it. Report alleges hidden ties between Landfall Games, Wings Interactive, and Sweet Baby Inc. themselves. All right, let's take a look at what we have here. A recent report by Gothic Therapy, YouTube channel hosted by MasteroftheTDS and WritingRaven, suggests that indie gaming may be influenced by a network of companies behind the scenes. According to the investigation, Landfall Games, known for titles like Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, that sounds like crap, and Content Warning, all that sounds like indie slop of the highest regard, is allegedly connected to Wings Interactive, a funding group that claims to support indie developers from marginalized backgrounds. The report also links SBI, a controversial consulting firm, to this network. Oh, you wonder how they get passed around, because it's tied to the funding. Gothic Therapy alleges that Wings Interactive is not an independent funding group, but rather a front for Landfall Games. While Wings presents itself as an initiative supporting underrepresented developers, MasteroftheTDS and WritingRaven claim that it is actually controlled and funded by Landfall. They cite official records showing that Wings operates under the legal name Vingar Interaktiva AB in Sweden, and registered at the same address as Landfall Games. Oh, right. Well, yeah, that's a very strong correlation we have there. It's not a coincidence. That's a cover-up, MasteroftheTDS states in the video. The further claim that multiple companies all linked to Landfall Games are registered at this address, suggesting a broader business structure hidden from public view. According to their findings, Wings Interactive shares board members with Landfall Games, including Peter Henriksen, a co-founder of Landfall, who is also listed as Wings' vice CEO. Yeah, co-founder. Okay, he, him, she, her. Oh, fantastic stuff. Interestingly, the video notes that Henriksen does not publicly list his role at Wings on LinkedIn. Another figure identified is Kirsten Lee, who serves as Wings Selection Committee, and also has ties to Landfall Games. Based on their investigation, Gothic Therapy claims that Wings Interactive functions as a shadow publisher, allowing Landfall to fund and control indie game development without publicly attaching its name to the projects. And that's the way that a lot of these consultancy firms are going to be operating ever since 2024 kind of blew up their racket big time. Those suggest that the large companies have historically used similar tactics, creating supposedly independent brands to avoid scrutiny while exerting influence behind the scenes. A Sweet Baby connection. All right, so how does our good friends over at SBI lean into this? One of the more intriguing elements is a reported alleged connection, words are hard, between Wings Interactive and Sweet Baby Inc., a consultancy firm. Yeah, we know all about that. Gothic Therapy highlights that Kim Belair, the CEO and co-founder of SBI, previously served on Wings Interactive's selection board. Okay, well, it's one of her many previous jobs, including working at Ubisoft, which, does she have a tendency to just leave a path of devastation in her wake. The clip shown in the video features Belair confirming this herself. Oh, okay. I've also been on the advisory board of a few funding bodies, including Wings Fund, which specializes in grants for women and marginalized people working in games and funding projects that come to us through there. Gothic argues that this connection raises questions about whether SBI's involvement in gaming extends beyond narrative consulting and into the funding and selection of indie projects. Okay, towards the end of the video, Gothic Therapy presents another surprising discovery. According to MasteroftheTDS, Riot Games contributed $1 million to Wings Interactive in 2021 to support diverse teams. MasteroftheTDS, WritingRaven imply this could indicate broader industry involvement in Wings operations, though they stop short of making definitive claims about Riot's role. Yeah, they just could be another one of those stupid companies that's like, yeah, this looks good, and it'll make us look good. We release press release and we support marginalized and female game developers because that's what we want out here, right guys? Right guys. But apparently, MasteroftheTDS and WritingRaven managed to hit on a bit of a nerve, because Sweet Baby Inc. connected Wings Interactive deletes its online presence after bombshell expose by the Gothic Therapy YouTube channel. Okay, so the racket and their methods of which they operate have been exposed. Yeah, there's a reason I wanted to talk about this, because we're going to be seeing this stuff a lot more prominently moving forward. So we're just going to have to start moving more appropriately and catch up with the times as well in a dramatic turn of events. Wings Interactive, the indie game funding group linked to Sweet Baby Inc. and Landfall Games, has been erasing its online presence in the wake of a bombshell investigation by Gothic Therapy. Okay, and we already went through that, so let's take a look. In summation, Gothic Therapy discovered that Wings Interactive was registered under a different name. Landfall Games co-founder Peter Hendrickson was listed as Wings Vice CEO. Kim Belair of Sweet Baby Inc. previously served on the selection board, and Riot Games contributed $1 million to be disseminated through however Wings deems fit. These findings led Gothic Therapy to question whether Wings Interactive was truly an independent fund or simply a means for Landfall and SBI to control indie game development while avoiding direct scrutiny. Shortly after these revelations, Gothic Therapy noticed that Wings Interactive began systematically erasing itself from the internet in the last 24 hours. Wings' Twitter account has been deleted. Its TikTok and Blue Sky accounts have also been removed. The official Wings Interactive Instagram has been set to private. News articles related to Wings Interactive have vanished from websites. The company's homepage no longer displays employees, board members, or its selection committee. Wings removed its entire gaming page from its website, with a page not found error popping up when anyone tries to access it. Gee, what other conglomeration of folks did the exact same thing the moment that they flew a little bit too close to the sun? I wonder. There's like 3 letters that seem to come to mind. SIB, BSI. I can't quite remember. Who decided to scrub all their previous employers and current affiliators and collaborators. I can't remember who it is that scrubbed their webpage of all of those references, and still to this very day have their Twitter account on lockdown. I can't remember. And Master of the TDS and WritingRaven directly addressed Wings Interactive and Sweet Baby Inc., stating that they had anticipated potential damage control efforts and have already archived all relevant information. Good for them, man. That's exactly what you need to do. By deleting everything, hiding everything, and showing that you are in full-blown panic mode, you are only proving us right. The abrupt disappearance of Wings Interactive from the internet raises serious questions about the validity of Gothic Therapy's findings. If Wings Interactive were merely an indie game funding group with nothing to hide, why would they need to erase their presence so quickly? And wouldn't you think, an indie game fund group, like, they would definitely want outside contributors. They would definitely be opining for people to support their cause. Why is it the moment that they get their biggest spotlight, they decide to go radio silent? I find that very, very concerning. The connections between Wings Interactive, Landfall Games, and Sweet Baby Inc. suggests a deeper level of influence in the gaming industry, one that may not align with the image these companies have publicly projected, or maybe have aligned with them a little bit too closely. Gothic Therapy has vowed to continue their investigation, promising further updates on the situation as they uncover more evidence. For now, one thing is clear: Wings Interactive Vanishing Act has only fueled further suspicion, rather. And so as the days have gone by, we've got a little bit of an update from another source as well. Okay, and we're talking going a few more levels deep, taking a look at the other people that are also on this list as well. And Wings is an investment group that focuses on business with women or minorities are in power. They profit based on revenue sharing and adjust as the sales go all along. Former staff in 2024 gave us a number of how many games they invested in, being around 14, and that was the only thing that they invested in. Very interesting. This group called Spelfabrik have their own variation, Bridge, okay, with the goal of networking, co-development, cultural exchange, and the creation of a sustainable business model. They have focused on in the visibility to African studios on a global stage. What the hell? While encouraging European studios to interact with them. Okay, I have the evil white man come in and, support all of our projects. I find that very interesting. Okay. They are funded and supported by Wings, as well as other notable games. Games for Change, which is the WEF, okay, related initiative that also ties to Dr. Cowart of Take This organization, which quickly bailed on the $669K DHS grant and now writes about Swifties. Oh, very interesting, huh? And there you can see the affiliated teams and the affiliated groups that are there from this connected collaboration. They only imagine that they encourage studios to do so and say to get investors' attention. Keep in mind, many investors unfortunately chase ESG. Arbitrary scoring has nothing to do with product quality. Okay, here are some of the other connections. Both Games Ground Berlin and Paris Game Biz also included is another business post. Yeah, exactly. There's oh man, Tiny Build, Sony Interactive Entertainment, yeah, Wings, oh great, yeah, fantastic stuff. They're all just looped in on this stuff. Oh man, so what's 2%? It is the Wings foundational argument that from the beginning that they seem to espouse. These two people featured here explaining the 2% thing will get their own info dumps. Oh, okay, yeah, change is needed. Hiring, oh yeah, women founders only receive 2%, less of the venture capital, and yeah, Ben Cavallo needs to go ahead and just really stand up for all of those impoverished female developers. What a dork. This is where we're at, man. Once again, just proving that these rabbit holes do in fact run deep, and then just when you think that there's a vast majority of the industry deciding to curtail some of their DEI policies, yeah, they just realize that they're rebranding, going a little bit deeper undercover, and just simply rebranding so that they can once again ride another day. But because we're wise to what they're doing, we won't let that happen, now will we? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.